What is up, dudes and dudettes? It's Tony Lane here on the Dude Network, and man, oh man, do we have a fun one here for you. This dude is not only larger in life, his personality is one too, like that, and we got the garage beer flowing, we got the good times rolling. We're missing Damon. We wish he was with us here, but he's with us in spirit as we got Keith Goon Conlin, an absolute stud. Played for the Colts for a little bit, was a stud on a undefeated 1995 Penn State Nittany Lion team under legendary Joe Paterno, one of the tackles. We're excited to dive in with him as we're going to talk beer, food, football, sports, dude stuff. Let's go.
Welcome to the Dude Network, where we chill and unwind. Food, sports, entertainment, the best of its kind. Grab your buddies, have a seat, let's have a good time. 4 nights a week, we'll make sure you feel just fine. Join us as we dive into the coolest trends. Dude Network, where the fun never ends. Dude Network, where the fun never ends. Hanging out with the dudes and dudettes. Talking about the things we love, no regrets. Tune in, relax, and let the good vibes flow. The Dude Network, the place to go.
Yo, John, cheers, brother.
What's up, everybody?
Happy semi-retirement. Well, I'll say it.
That's what everybody's been saying to me. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's a little weird.
It is a little weird, but that will set in. We got all kinds of time to watch the adjustment as Johnsy's adventure to the East Coast is officially underway. We are not scared to death. We are totally fine. We're good. All right. Well, let's get in here to it tonight, man. Met Goon through a good buddy of mine. We share a good friend. Shout out Joel if you're watching. And as soon as I hung out with this dude, him and I were just like, boom. We were saying the same beach, same time of year because we don't like crowds. We both like football. Next thing you know, man, hours went by. This guy is amazing, and really excited to introduce him here to everybody on the Dude Network because you've seen him on one of the videos, but I'm going to do some more stuff in the Penn State State College area, and this guy knows it better than anybody. Goon is just an absolute legend within State College. Like, people were commenting on the video like, oh my God, it's Goon, like crazy. This guy's awesome. All right. Oh, I was getting feedback, and we brought him in. Keith Goon Conlin.
Conlin.
Why are you saying Conlin? Shit, that's my bad. I just call him Goon. It's easier.
It's actually, dude, you're right. I'm one of the 8 kids, and we're all named with a K and C, so I've been called every K and C name known to man, so it's all good.
Man.
Well, I should know by now. So my apologies. But anyway, what I was going to say is that to introduce you, I wanted to make sure that he is known as not just some slapdick that participated on the 1995 undefeated Penn State football team. He was a starter. Is that right?
Yeah. We 1994 went undefeated, won the Rose Bowl. We weren't allowed to play for a national title because we were locked into the Big Ten going to the Rose Bowl, and Nebraska was locked into the Orange Bowl. So the powers that be, I don't know how or why it was like that, but thank God we have what we have now in the college football playoff. Kudos to your Buckeyes this year. Very good, very nice win for you guys. But yeah, I wish we had something like that back in the day because we were pretty damn good and we never got a chance. We didn't even have a chance. I mean, I'd rather lose by 100 points than not have a shot to win it at all.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. That's how I've always felt about losing. I would rather lose by 20 than lose by 1. Like, yeah, 100%. Yep. So there are a lot of Nebraska fans that do watch the show. Sure. Anything you would like to say to them quickly? Dude,
I know a couple of the guys from out there, and I just say, hey, you guys did what you had to do. You won all of your ball games. It was just the politics that got involved, and that's the bullshit that we had to deal with back in the day. Again, I'm glad and I'm happy that it's fixed now to a certain point. I mean, you at least have a chance to get in there. I have no ill regards towards Nebraska people or Nebraska fans and players and coaches because I have some friends that work out there, coach out there. I mean, I played here with Matt Rule. So, I don't have any angst towards them. I say it like this. The best way I've heard it explained, and it was, God rest his soul, John Feinstein wrote this article back in January 95, right after the Rose Bowl. John Feinstein died last week. He was the author of the Indiana Bobby Knight Season on the Brink, a lot of stuff. So,
and the punch about Rudy Tomjanovich and Kermit.
I believe so. Yeah, he did a lot of that type of stuff.
Yeah,
so Feinstein wrote an article for his magazine called Inside Sport, I think it was called. I believe he started a Sports Illustrated competitor, and he made a comment on there. And it was around the time, I believe it was Arkansas was winning national titles in basketball. And I believe they played UCLA. And but whatever. But he said the easiest way to explain how they did college football ranking was you played the whole season in a tournament, and then whoever wins the 2 games on Saturday night, they get to go home, and then they get to vote to see who would win the game on Monday. Hmm. And I'm like, well, that pretty much freaking explains it because, I mean, you settle this shit on the field, I mean, here I am 30 years later, we're still talking about it. I mean, it's crazy to think about, but not, again, not having a shot at it. It is what it is, and learn to live and deal with it. And we always say we're probably the most well-remembered number 2 team in the history of sports, and especially college football. But not having an opportunity at the title, that hurt because we did everything we needed to do. We beat who we needed to do, beat them by a lot of points. And Nebraska did the same thing, but, the politics got involved, and you wanted to give Tom Osborne a national title, and that's fine. It would have been a hell of a damn game. I know that.
Oh, that would have been a beast game.
Yeah, it's just wild that's how they just it was just so. And everything was, and that was their worst case scenario, honestly. When that happened, they're probably like,
well, shit. I know you guys are young bucks and all, but I got to say this, that the year before, in 1993, Notre Dame beat Florida State head-to-head in the middle of the season.
Lou Holtz.
The next week, Notre Dame lost to Boston College on a last-second field goal. So they played head-to-head. They both went all around and went undefeated the rest of the year. They won their bowl games. Even though Notre Dame beat Florida State head-to-head, they still gave the national title to Florida State. Think about that. I mean, this is what I said. The politics got involved because Bobby Bowden had not had a title in his career up till then. So they felt obligated a little bit to give it to Bobby Bowden. And then the next year, Tom Osborne had not won a national title in his career. So they felt obligated to give it to him. But again, they deserved it. They had just a good shot. We didn't play Nebraska. Well, Florida State lost to Notre Dame in a regular season game, and they still voted Florida State as the national title. It's just so stupid to think about.
Yeah.
Who wins?
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to put it. This is dumb.
You and Nebraska go head-to-head in 94. How does that end?
In 94, they're not going to compete with our offense. And our defense was a little bit suspect at times, but they wouldn't be able to stop our offense. And, how you beat a option team, which they were a one-faceted team, and that was a unbelievably powerful run game, an unreal run game. So the way you beat them, you got to get up on them 20 and 22, get up on them early, get them out of their comfort zone, and have them force them to throw the ball. Now, I would say we would beat them in 94, but I would have to say, and this is not a lie, that 1995 Nebraska football team is up there in my eyes in the top 3 of the all-time greatest football teams I have ever seen in college. I will give them that. They had the Tommy Frazier thing, but I believe it was 94, the year that they beat Miami and Warren Sapp and Ray Lewis and in the Orange Bowl. We're at the Rose Bowl. We play the next day. They crowned them national champions on TV the night before. We're pissed off as hell. I don't blame Nebraska. They did what they had to do. we did what we had to do. And I mean, looking back on it, I saw something on the Big Ten Network, which was really weird to me because now that Nebraska is part of the Big Ten, they have the 1994 season in review on there, and I'm like, okay, I guess they're not going to mention us, even on the Big Ten Network. So, you remember the guy Brooks Behringer? Wasn't that a quarterback who got replaced? They replaced Tommy Frazier because he had the blood clots, and I believe that Brooks Behringer died in a plane crash a couple years later.
Oh shit. I don't remember that.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, there's no animosity towards Nebraska from my point of view.
It's hard to have animosity when the dude gets killed in a plane crash a couple years later. That's kind of hard to hold a grudge after that.
I mean, Nebraska in general, I mean, I have never been out there. Obviously, one of my childhood friends is the DC, and then Matt Rule was on the 94 team, and he's the head coach of Nebraska. So, no ill will at all towards the Cornhuskers. I've heard nothing but awesome stuff about going out there and playing games and watching games and stuff like that. It is what it is. It happens.
Yeah.
It sucks when managers get involved, man. When upper management gets involved, everything gets muddled up every time.
I know we're going to go in on the Joe Paterno route here, but Joe Paterno had 7 undefeated teams that did not win national titles.
What? Really? 7?
Oh my gosh, that's ludicrous.
So he won in 68 and 69. They were undefeated. 73, they were undefeated. They finished 5th in 1973. In 68, 69, Richard Nixon had given, I believe that they had already declared the national championship before the bowl games even happened. So let me think now. Now that I'm thinking about it, it wasn't 7. He's had 68, 69, 73. He had an undefeated team in 78, but he lost to Alabama on the goal line stand. 82, they won a national title, but they lost the game. 86 was undefeated, and 94 was undefeated. And they got one national title out of one of his undefeated seasons.
The Schwab.
I love the story that Joe Paterno, Joe was making he was the speaker at a graduation back in the day. And he actually made a comment that it was a miracle to him that Richard Nixon knew more about college football than he knew about the Watergate scandal. Because Nixon went to, I believe, I think it was Oklahoma and Arkansas, I think, in like 68 or 69. And he had a national championship trophy, and he gave it to it was Texas. Sorry, it was Texas. He gave it to Texas after the game. This is before the bowl game was even played. And they were declared national champions. So it was just one of those weird things.
That just 10-4. None of that adds up. So
upper management, baby, upper management.
Oh, that's my awesome. Gosh, that's wild.
Joe Paterno. All right,
yes, sir.
A legend of legend. True or false? He shit his pants during a game.
Well, it wasn't on the field. He got into the locker room, and then he messed up a little bit while in there, I think. It was bad. I mean, we've all been there, and I can't imagine having to do it in front of 110,000 people at the shoe. The story is because I was actually I had come back to school in 2005, and I came back and got my master's degree. So I was working with the football program for 3 years, and I was on the field. And I'm looking over and I said, why the hell is the old man running onto the field right now? And so I guess the story is that Joe historically always ate 2 stadium hot dogs before every football game. And I guess that they were a little undercooked this time, and it did not agree. He got the food poisoning, the whole thing, and ran across the field. And, it was obviously a very, very embarrassing moment for him and all that stuff. And it is what it is, because we've all been there. We've definitely done it. I mean, people. I mean,
I don't think I've ever done it in front of 100,000 people. I don't think I can say I've been there.
No, I mean, there's definitely and on national TV in the middle in the first quarter. So yeah, he was sick as hell. He stayed in the locker room for a little bit. He had to get He had to get an IV and everything. Man, he was all banged up.
That's a shitty situation.
It's a very shitty situation. And the fact that he came out in a different color pants was the weird part.
Right.
When he came running out with another pair of drawers on, and that's when you were like, oh,
poor Joe.
But hey,
so okay, last on this. Is it possible, and are you going to proclaim this is your opportunity? We got a lot of Ohio State fans that tune in here.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Are you claiming sabotage at the Horseshoe?
Nah.
On the undercooked? Okay, damn it.
Nah, I don't think I wouldn't go that far. I mean, it was, I figure it's 3 hours before the game. You grabbed a couple dogs that may have, I mean, it's not uncommon. I mean, they may have not been ready to be served, and the manager who got him may have just grabbed the wrong two, and is what it is. I don't think it was like that. I hope it wouldn't be like that, honestly, but
you heard it here first.
I would say it was just a bad choice of hot dogs. I mean, let's just say I don't think he went to the shoe the next time and ordered hot dogs.
I mean, I think we can all read between the lines right there, everybody. We can all read between the lines, and we know exactly what Goon's saying.
It is what it is. So, I mean, I know you're going to ask me my favorite Joe Paterno story, and I got to tell you this one. This is my favorite. So, I'm one of three brothers to play.
Yeah, we're not used to the Joe Paterno stuff. This is a good look.
It's all good. I'm one of three brothers to play here from outside the Philadelphia area. He played in the Philadelphia Catholic League. My brother played. Joe came to my house in 1983 to recruit my older brother. And I'm a 9-year-old little asshole running around trying to get his autograph, this, that, all that stuff. So the way I say it, and the way my father would say it, God rest my dad's soul, is that we were Eagle fans. And then when the time Joe Paterno left, we were Penn State fans. Because my dad wanted to hear one thing come out of Joe Paterno's mouth. And it says, you're going to take care of your son like he's mine while he's away. Just so you know that. He told my dad that, shook his hand, and my dad took that as that's an honor thing, and that's all he wanted to hear. So, like I said, I was a little shit 9-year-old running around trying to pilfer Joe for autographs because I was going to sell him and this and that the next day. Yeah. So I'm having him sign every freaking thing possible. So this is not a lie. No shit. He looks at me in the last autograph and he says, listen, kid, I'm going to tell you this much right now. I'll sign this one autograph for you, the last one. But he goes, I'm coming back in 10 years for your autograph. And you were like, oh, that's great. Oh, how funny, But, I mean, I'm about a 6'4" 9-year-old. So I guess he had a pretty good idea that I was going to be, I might be okay. So I'm telling you, he comes to my house in 1991. I opened the living room, the front door to the house. Joe walks in. It was a rainy night in January or February. And I take off his jacket, and he turns around and looks at me and puts his hand out, and he goes, I'm here for my autograph. And then not one person had remembered what he had said. And at that moment, we all remembered what he said then. And we were all like, holy shit, that's unbelievable. And that's they always say that you recruit the family, you recruit the mom, you recruit the dad, and Joe was a master at that for sure. No doubt about it. He goes, like I said, he told my father and mother he would take care of us as his own, raise us, turn us into men. I hope he did that. We all, we're all still alive. We're all still around. So I guess he did a pretty good job.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. But you know what though? You don't have teams as good as he had if you weren't a killer at recruiting. And that's like some of the stuff like you hear about Bobby Knight, you know what I mean? Like everyone forgets that Bobby Knight, he pissed off Isaiah Thomas's brother on an Indiana recruiting trip. And Isaiah Thomas's brother like squared up on me. He said, I want to come outside, Bobby. I want to whoop your ass. And Bobby's like, all right, let's go outside. And then that's when his mom was like, you're playing for Bobby Knight.
Yep.
So it's just cool to hear stories like that, man. It's just different back then. It was like recruiting. You built relationships. Yeah. You didn't just throw money at the situation like they seem to be doing now. John D, what do you got?
Bad timing, Tony. Bad timing.
Oh, come on, man. You got to be quick. You got to be ready.
No.
What's going on, man? Nothing for the kid.
We'll switch to food. What's your favorite thing to eat?
There we go. Pivot.
We've already covered everything I know about college football from back then.
Yeah, Johnsy gets a little bit left in the weeds sometimes. That's on.
Oh, it doesn't register.
He's getting there.
Was not into sports back then. I played guitar and skateboarded. That's it. So I missed a lot, playing a lot of catch up.
Well, I mean, I can't wait for you to get up here this fall because I'm going to show you what I fell in love with in 1983 when my brother got here, and that's the tailgating. Yeah, absolutely love it. There's nothing more I like to do in this whole world. If I was to die tomorrow, I have told my wife my party is a tailgate. My going away party. You know, get a couple of kegs, lower me into the ground, turn the music up, and enjoy it, man. Because that's what I do love. And my mom and dad, God bless them, you know, big time Philadelphia people, you know, city kids growing up, hard squabble, grew up during the Depression, all that stuff. So worked their asses off, you know, did very well for themselves, thank God. Took care of us. I'm one of 8, like I said. So they get up to Penn State here in 1983, and they get into this tailgate culture, you know, and it's just the fucking way of life here, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I sent a video earlier of my setup right now, and we have a football Letterman's lot. There's 125 spots in there, first come, first serve. So I'm, you know, as soon as that gate is open, my car is going in there, and that's every week. If it's an 8 o'clock game, we're there at 7 o'clock in the morning. If it's a fucking noon game, I'm there at 7 o'clock in the morning. But and there's no other way around it. So don't know what game it was this year. I don't know. I'm going to say Ohio State. Maybe did they play here this year? Yes, they played here. So ESPN Game Day is next to my parking lot, and on the other side of my parking lot is Fox Game Day. Fox is big noon kickoff show.
Oh yeah.
So I have this party over here, this party over here, and we're right in the middle of the 125 spots. 6 o'clock in the morning. It's loud as shit over there. We're rocking and rolling. It was like, you know, 75 people there at 6 o'clock in the morning. And that's just like I said to my dad, I said, it's my way of life right here. So go back to my parents getting there in 1983. They started going up Saturday morning at the first couple of games. And they were like, hey, you know what? This is pretty damn fun. And we don't like driving 3.5, 4 hours, you know, drinking during the day, watching the football game, and then, you know, leaving early the next morning. So that was 1983. As the time wore on to when my youngest brother got through Penn State, was 1997. My parents had bought a camper up here. They would come up here for football games for my brother's senior year. They would come up on Wednesday and come back on Monday. I'm like, why the hell are you even coming home? You know, and that's how much they loved it up here. They loved getting up here to the State College, Center County area, loved doing the tailgates and all that stuff. And they were epic, you know. So I know we talked about, you know, Taylor ham and pork roll and stuff like that. The Conlin family definitely introduced a lot of that stuff, specifically pork roll, to a lot of the non-Philadelphia, South Jersey people. So we have it as a staple of my morning tailgate. It's a breakfast meal. I have the scrapple going. I got the big flat top growing. I got the eggs. I got the scrapple. I got the bacon. We have a butcher down the road that my tailgate partner, Bob. He makes this guy. He gets the thickest cut bacon I've ever seen in my life, man. It's like a triple thick. It's almost like a steak, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
So you know, is the flat top not the greatest invention in the world just to cook bacon? Yes.
Sorry, that was for the thick cut.
Bacon on a flat top is just perfect, man. It's like you're at an old diner in Philadelphia growing up, man. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Have you tried the beef bacon?
What's that?
Have you tried beef bacon yet?
I'll try it.
Oh, dude.
How's that happening? They cure the what cut?
It's brisket. They cure the brisket.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like brisket beef bacon, man. It is.
I got a buddy who's coming up here from the thing called the Dude Network. He's coming to a tailgate this year, so maybe we have to break that out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you want to win, we need a little Ohio farm action in there.
Now we talked about this. There's no open flames at the tailgates here, so we gotta pivot a little bit. We gotta figure out. I got electric smokers.
Okay. No,
so we might be cheating a little bit and making this stuff the day before. What's that?
We use pellets all the time.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we can do whatever we gotta do.
Give me a hot plate and a tote of water. We'll bring the brisket and all that. All you gotta do is just reheat it and sous vide it. It'll be ready to rock and roll, man. We can still have that all natural smoke flavor right there at the tailgate. We'll be the only ones around. Game day crew will come over to us, and we're gonna be like, "Nope, sorry,
not for you."
This
so we'll get pigs on the grill. We got bacon on the grill. We got some cows, beef, all that stuff, man. It's great.
And if you need more beef, you literally just go over the hill where there's a pasture field. You harvest the Holstein, and then you gut it up. You bring Johnson's cross, and we stake it out. We have ourselves a good one.
Wait till you when you get up here next time. I'll bring you to the right next to the stadium is the Ag Building.
Oh,
and there's a meat lab right in there. They have sales every Friday where they're teaching raising of the animals, but slaughtering of the animals, cutting of the animals, and it's a little bit pricey, but you're getting fresh as hell stuff because it's coming off the plains right behind you right there. So they do a lot of specialty stuff. It's amazing. You should see the fucking lines at this place every Friday morning.
I believe
it goes around the fucking corner, man.
And then, I believe it because I know that the farm that we work with here in Ohio, they're only open like 2 days a week, and you go there on Saturday, dude. It's like 50 people waiting to pick up their order. Like the shit's already ordered. Like,
so I know the Penn State Creamery gets a lot of love with their ice cream and stuff like that, which is obviously amazing. But the meat lab up here, that produces a lot of stuff, man. So
that's awesome.
You go in there and you got college kids who are ag majors and they're learning. I mean, they have to learn. I mean, it's mom and dad teach you, but you want to get to that next level.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a lot of that stuff, man.
Yep.
I'm actually a little pissed off right now because I've been going to state college now for 4 years, and I am today years old to find out about this. So thanks, everybody.
Got to be a Friday, though.
Yeah, that's going to be Fridays is a tough.
Hey, it just took that long to check you out, verify you get to get that information.
There's so many things to do in state college, though, Goon. There's there's so many eateries, and not only in state college, but the surrounding area.
Yep.
I mean, Italian, Polish.
Yep.
I cannot wait to come eat Italian food out there. Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude.
I was looking to see if there was a Guardians game in Philly. I'd rather take you down to the Philly Italian stop, but I have a place in Altoona. I'm going to tell you right now, it's about a 2.5 pound meatball that they serve. And it's a good buddy of mine. Trust me. I've talked to him, and it's all set up. So when you guys come into town, it's in Altoona, which is about 40 minutes down the road. It's worth the trip.
Yeah, I drive right through on the way home, man. Every time I leave you, I drive right by Altoona Curve Stadium.
I will pass along the information. You can get a little pregame test for me if you want. If you want to test it out before we go, it's a fantastic restaurant, man.
I am. Yeah.
So we went to the old New York down the road from my house. It's more of a German with the schnitzels and they got the Polish pierogies in there and all that. And it's just a very good restaurant. It's got a lot of everything. Tony, you've been up here to Champs and all that with the ravioli and the wings and stuff. So
ravioli every day, Jonesy.
I'm a lube guy because my radio shows at the lube and all that. I took Tone there for the all-you-can-eat buffet. And I'll say this about Quicker Stick of Lube is, the buffet, you get the same wings that they get during the week. Some buffets, they throw the shit wings in there and all that. They try to get rid of them. Yeah. Not the lube. It's the same damn thing. But I will say, if we do go to Champs up here, and you've been there, Tom, with the ravioli, their wings, there's only a couple things. There's the biggest thing I look for in a restaurant is, is it the same thing? Every time I go there, is it going to be the same taste? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I've been going to Champs since in 1993 when I turned 21 years old, and the 3 flavors of wings they have there are still the exact same as the first one I had in 1993. And that's all you ask for, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't the old man that's the one that still makes the raviolis every day?
I believe it's his recipe. Now I think that they're Lou's raviolis. I believe Lou has passed, but he did pass down the recipe, so they are legit. You said it. That's your favorite thing up here is Lou's ravioli.
Dude, I've been there twice, and I didn't get it the first time because I didn't know. The second time I got it, I was so mad I didn't get it the first time, and I haven't been the third time. So I think next time we're on the champs. If we Old New York, we got to do Old New York.
Fucking love raviolis.
Well, we're gonna save chance for Johnsy. We're saving chance for Johnsy then.
I mean, you can go again. We'll go. I'll go anyway. Yeah.
Dude, too many options though. We got to do Old New York and get the schnitzels too. I mean, we got.
Oh no! I did promise you a nice schnitzel. I know that. Please, the Hunter schnitzel, the Jaeger schnitzel, all that stuff, baby.
Yeah.
So, Johnsy, with you coming out here to the east, because out there, like his taco game. Apparently, we can't touch the tacos out there. So, like out here.
Oh, I didn't say mine. I'm just saying.
No, not yours. Yeah, I'm saying like
out here?
The southern Cali part.
There's no way. Yeah. There's no way.
But anyway, like, so you're coming out here for like Italian food. Is there anything else that you are personally excited to dive into out here? Or, I mean, have you guys been exposed to a lot of Polish food out there in Cali?
Oh, no, I was just saying like okay. Just food. I was talking about the culture that this guy's talking about. I don't have that out here. Like there's like Stanford's like 2 hours away. Cal Berkeley's the same, but there's not like that I know of. There ain't that kind of tailgating going on. And I mean at the 49er games, yeah, well, there used to be the Raiders, they moved, but other than that, it's like I'm excited for that kind of culture. And I'm definitely what I'm excited for about food though is not like we have a really good Italian restaurant that was run by Sicilians that they just moved back to Italy or Sicily like 8 years ago, and they sold it to a guy who's worked for them for like 15 years. So it's all basically the same. But it just seems like the farther, the closer you can get back east is like the way more genuine, the way more home style, the way more authentic, no matter what, German, Polish, what were we just talking about? Italian, whatever. So that I'm super excited for that.
Yeah. I mean, I got places up here, and then, like I said, I got here in 1991, and I grew up on cheesesteaks and hoagies. That's my thing. You go to any corner store in Philadelphia area, you're going to get a good piece of pizza, a good hoagie, and a good cheesesteak. And if you don't, you're not in business that fucking long.
Yeah.
And the other thing that Philadelphia and Jersey and the East Coast is known for is old school diners, like the old silver, like you see in Goodfellas, that type of shit. There's a lot of those in the East Coast. A lot of ethnic food in there. A lot of Greek. I don't know why, but the Greeks always seemed to used to run the local diners. It was unbelievable. But they'd be open 24/7. So you catch a load one night, you're sitting there eating pancakes and sausage and halushki and everything in the middle of the friggin' night, all hammed up. So. But I got here in 91, and there was some places had cheesesteaks, but they just weren't the same. And it was like one of those things. I would go home, and my mom and dad would be like, "What do you want to? You want to go out for a steak? You want no? I want a hoagie or I want a cheesesteak. That's all I want. I don't. Right. We just don't have them." And they have really, really, really upped the game around here in regards to the Philadelphia cheesesteaks. Well, I don't have to say Philadelphia cheese; it's redundant. The cheesesteaks and hoagies.
Right.
So I got. Yeah, we're set up the next time we come down here. My buddy Troy down the road here, he does the best hoagie up here. And then I got my guy at Campus Steaks downtown. He does a hell of a good cheesesteak, cheese fries. He puts 2 different cheeses on it. He'll throw a Cooper Sharp on there with a cheese whiz on top of the beef and stuff like that. And
Wit whiz, baby, wit whiz.
Yeah, wit
whiz, baby. That's it. I'm in. And then,
I know a little bit. A
little bit. You got the Cooper Sharp as the new player in town, man. Everybody's swearing by the Cooper Sharp big time.
Yeah, Cooper. Yeah, that's been a big one. I haven't dabbled into it yet because where I live, like we're in cheese heaven, so we have a lot of good cheeses around here too.
Sure.
Another thing they're known for out there, Johnsy, are like they're called submarine sandwiches. Like they call them like full submarines, and that's like your loaded cold cuts. Like they're known for like
subs out here, dude.
Well, if Philadelphia, they're called hoagies. New York, they're called heroes, and everywhere else they're called subs.
They're called subs.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a culture thing. You kind of know where you're from depending on how you call the sandwich. If you call it a sub, you're from Central PA. Like you said, hoagie down there. Like
it's
where
sort
I'm
of
at,
it's sort of like how Pittsburgh and Philadelphia talk. You got the Yinzers who talk in Pittsburgh. They say, "What are Yins up to?" You go into Philadelphia's way. What are yous up to?
Yeah,
and you get the Lancaster and that Harrisburg area. You have a Yuns in there too. So it's like, holy shit. A lot of different, and it all goes back to
Yuns is Pennsylvania Dutchess.
Absolutely. What are Yuns doing?
Dude, when I first started hearing the Yins and the Yuns, I was thrown aback.
Bro, I grew up around Amish, and they said Yunts. Y-U-N-T-Z. What are Yunts doing?
What are Yuns doing?
Yeah.
That's in the Lancaster area up here in Pennsylvania. So you get a little idea of the different accents and stuff like that, because this is like we're like this little melting pot. So give you a little Joe Paterno story here, but just in regard to the school. So if you take a 5-hour window around State College, Pennsylvania, that puts you almost into Boston, down into Virginia Beach, all the way out through Ohio and stuff like that. And Joe's thing was, if you can control those 5 hours, take care of like those 5 hours and then pick and choose your other athletes, it's pretty damn good. So, I played with a ton of guys from Ohio and stuff like that. Absolutely toughest guys, Pittsburgh guys, tough as shit, Philly, South Jersey, all this stuff, New York, Virginia, all that stuff. But it was always funny because it was a little melting pot,
Yeah.
I said I'm not to jump off a subject here, but there's two places in the world where politics don't matter. That's a football locker room and in the military. Doesn't matter what fucking color you are, what size you are, this or that, everybody gets their balls busted. So we always kid around, the Philadelphia guys and the Jersey guys and the New Yorkers and the Boston people, everybody has different accents, and you can always tell where guys were from by their accents and stuff like that. So just a little history of the Penn State shit. So.
Well, I always like different accents then when you're in that area, because that means new food.
Absolutely, brother.
Oh, I'm all about it.
That's the best thing about my job. I get to travel over,
So I get I get a full cal a year. So I got a half coming in May, and then usually another one in probably in the fall. We'll say so. And I get a pig also, and that's mostly for just tailgate foods.
Right on.
So that goes in to tell you how much we do on our tailgate stuff. So
yeah, that's awesome.
The specialty sausages are absolutely fantastic. I got a place up there.
That is another thing I can't wait for. That whole region of the country is the sausages.
Yes, it's amazing. My wife is from Northwest Pennsylvania. There's a place up there that I get this. They make a Greek sausage.
Okay.
It has the feta, it has the spinach, had all of this stuff in it, and it is the best sausage. It's an absolute game changer on the tailgater at tailgates, because you just cut it in little chunks and just walk around, and people just pick it up with their hand or a toothpick. I just can't figure out what to serve it with. I was going to serve it at home. Maybe we can figure that out, boys.
Oh, we can.
I already know what I'd put on it. In a heartbeat, I already know what I'd put on it.
No, there's nothing needed on top of it. I'm just saying, what do you serve on the side though?
Like probably a caprese salad.
A what?
Capri salad.
Capri salad,
with the mozzarella, the basil, the fresh spinach, the aioli, the balsamic,
very
bread,
Mediterranean
the half-cherry
feel.
potatoes. Hell yeah! All
right, I'm in. Sign me up, brother. Sign me up. So, like I said, I want you guys coming up for a tailgate game, but I do. I mean, me and we were talking about having an away game grilling party where we could actually have the real smokers going in the parking lot somewhere and watch an away game that way.
Yeah, I was also thinking of what that does is it makes it to where as long we can pick out the best Saturday that works for us, and we can go about it each way. And if we can do 2, we will.
Yep.
But yeah, I know there's also a field trip to go out to Kinnick Stadium, and who knows, we might try to team up with you to go out with you in Penn State, because they said we're working with a couple of the players out there, and they said that's one of the two. Them and Oregon, Penn State and Oregon are the 2 big home games at Kinnick.
Yeah.
So.
Now, you want to hear a great Kinnick story stadium? I may have told you.
What, in the pink lock? In the pink locker room? No.
That was, dude, that was such bullshit. I mean, you heard about it, and as a player, you walk in there, and I'm telling you, it's not the locker room. It's the fucking lockers. It's the toilets. It's the sinks. It's the everything in there. The tiles, the floor, everything is pink.
John, did you know that?
No.
Yeah, Iowa, like when you go to visitor, it's like all pink, and they did that for the visitors. So every visitor has to like trade it.
So the former head coach Hayden Fry, he was like a psychology major.
Midwest football's different, Johnsy.
They said that the Hayden Fry was the former head coach there for a long, long time. That he was a psychiatry major, and he said that the pink would make the opponents more docile. Is what the understanding was. And I'm going to tell you right now, all it did was fucking piss you off as a player.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Absolutely just pissed you off. And you walk out in the field like, what is this shit, you know? Just go out there. So my Kinnick Stadium story is I snapped for field goals, so I had to go out the kickers and punters earlier in the game. So for the prima donnas, the kickers and punters got to go out and stretch a whole bunch before the game. So we'll, all the snappers and the offensive linemen would just be standing around there. So we hear this like fucking tornado coming at us, and we're in the middle of Iowa, so I was shitting my pants thinking it was a tornado. Right. But they just opened the doors for the students to come in, and they're running down the bleachers. There's like thousands of kids just running down these bleachers, and you just hear it, and you're like, Jesus Christ. So we're standing there, and there's like 5 or 6 of us football players and a coach in 1995, and this object just lands at our feet. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Somebody cut a head off a pig and threw the fucker onto the field. And we're sitting there. It's like there's like 6 guys in a huddle, and we're kicking it. We're like, what the hell is that? What is that? It's a fucking pig's head, man. And it was like the coaches they tell a manager to run out there to grab it and get it the hell out of there. And we're like, honest to God, I think I like blacked it out because I don't remember if it was like a grilled or just like a severed, like they just killed it for the head, because I don't know if it was cooked or not. But it was like, what the hell is that thing? And it's like, oh, these guys are crazy. And I'm like, yeah, we just got hit by a freaking pig's head, dude.
They godfathered you guys.
Dude,
that was pretty good.
They out-Phillied
nice with the Godfather.
That's wild, dude.
Dude, we were sitting there and we were like, whoa, these guys this is crazy.
I got a little more excited to have some dude leads on Iowa football after that story.
And you know what? We were, again, you guys are young, so like I wasn't in the Big Ten until my 3rd year.
Oh,
so you got to remember, I was an independent for the first 2 years. And, going to Kinnick, going to Michigan Stadium, going to Ohio State, that was all first times for us, in my 3 years.
I didn't realize that you did that That's cool that you got to do both, because that means you got to play in a lot of stadiums that a lot of guys didn't.
Yeah, we did. The people asked me what would be the coolest stadium, and I would say we played at BYU in 1992.
Wow.
Got our absolute asses kicked, but I was like, it was a pretty damn good. It was a pretty stadium.
That was a really nice stadium.
92. That wouldn't have been Detmer.
He was not there in 92. He played at Penn State against us in 91, and we won by like 30. So, any gamblers on this in this crew here? So you'll find this story absolutely hilarious.
Parlay.
So in 1991, I'm a true freshman. I'm redshirt, and I had shoulder surgery 2 times my freshman year, so I wasn't playing. And I had some older friends come up to the game in 1991. Again, we're playing Ty Detmer, who was the returning Heisman Trophy winner, I believe. I think he won as a junior. So Thursday practice, our middle linebacker blows his shoulder out. Everybody's worried about him, this and that. And then our quarterback takes a snap on his ring finger on his throwing hand and busts the knuckle. Or jams his head real bad, throwing hand, Tony Sacca. So, again, I'm not playing. So, like the team used to leave the night before the game, even for a home game. They would leave for a home game and just go to a hotel just to get away from everybody. And then they would bust them into the locker room and then go to the game from there, So I'm not dressing. Me and my roommate, are in the locker room. You know, we're getting our jerseys because you got to have a jersey on to stand on the sideline. So again, we're not dressed; we have a jersey on to get on the sideline. And the team comes back, and the quarterback's got a cast on his hand, and our linebacker's in a sling. So I go out to the parking lot, and some of my dad's friends and my older brother's friends are there, and they're big time gamblers. And at that point, I'm 18, 19. I didn't understand it at all. And they're like, "Hey, anybody get hurt this week? Hear anything?" You know, they're just looking for an inside tip, right? And I'm like, "Well, our quarterback's in a cast this morning, and our star linebacker's in a sling." And they're like, "What? Really?" And this is well before cell phones, and then we're in the middle. I mean, where we tailgate, we're in the middle of nowhere. So these cats are running about a mile and a half to get down to the town to get on a phone to call every bookie that they know in the Philadelphia area. Absolutely put everything they had on BYU. After the game, I'm like looking at my buddy. I'm like, "Dude, are you okay?" And he's like, "You told me those guys were hurt." I said, "Well, yeah, they had a sling on, and the other guy was in a cast." The quarterback threw for like 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the middle linebacker had like 20 tackles and 2 sacks. They both played.
Oh.
And I'm like, at the point, again, I was too young to even understand what they had done.
Right.
And then, you know, when I got done playing a couple of years later, I was out, and then, you know, some of them were very good friends of mine at that time. And the one guy was like, "Do you know how far and how long it took me to come out of that debt?" He goes, "I was paying bookies off for 3 years trying to get out of that debt because I had loaded up so much money on that game."
Oh, my God.
And I was like, "Hey, man." And he goes, "I don't blame you." He goes, they were in a cast and in a sling. And I was like, "Yeah." I mean, I felt bad at the time and still do to this day. But, yeah, that was – yeah. I didn't know if they were playing or not, but I know that, hey, he hurt his thumb. He's in a cast, or his ring finger. He's in a cast. And the linebacker's in a sling, so I don't think they're going to play. Wow, and they couldn't leave fast enough, man. Sorry, guys.
Well, my bad.
Yep. We're gonna wrap it up, but we're gonna point out we took 2 things away from this. 1, Ohio State gave Joe Pa food poisoning on purpose.
No.
And 2, Goon hates all his friends and gives them bad bet gambling advice and cost them 3 months.
I was young. I needed the money. Come on now, my friend.
I needed the money.
That's awesome.
Well, Goon, real quick here before we sign off, tell everybody where they can find you at here. I know you're involved on radio, podcast, events, everything. Here's your red carpet, man.
Yeah, buddy. I do the Goon and Ironhead show. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. It's live Tuesday, Thursday, 2 to 4 from here at State College. I go the Goon and Ironhead show. My partner in crime is Jeff Ironhead Byers. He's the voice of the Penn State Nittany Lions wrestling team, which is pretty damn good. I don't know. They won another national title last week. And they set another record last week with most points scored and stuff like that. So anybody who knows wrestling, they know that Jeff Byers is my partner on the Goon and Ironhead show. And then during the football season, I have a show. It's called the Old School, New School Football Penn State Blue White Players Show. So I have a couple guys who host with me. Neas Hawkins, who I believe is retired now. He just got done playing 3 years. So, and then I have a guy named Landon Tangwell who just got done. He graduated in December. So he's as new school as they come. And it's just a really good show because when me and Landon start talking, he doesn't understand how bad it really was to be a college football player in the 80s until the last 5 years with the NIL. Like his mind is blown that we were not allowed to work. We weren't allowed to, make any kind of money. We couldn't do this, couldn't do that, and he was just like, dude, you guys literally were like, paid. They gave you your education and they made you feel like that's what you deserve it. And, that's the way it was. So we were all cool with it. But you guys now make it. I come into class with my team was Kerry Collins, Kyle Brady, Kijana Carter. They're the top 6 draft picks of the 1994 draft. What the hell would they have made in 1994 on just the NIL deals and stuff like that? So looking back on it, it does suck that we didn't get anything. But again, we didn't know any better. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but it's a very good. It's a good show when me and Landon start talking because his mind gets blown about how little we did get and what we had to give, versus my mind gets blown because I find out what they get, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, they're talking about like their monthly stipends, and I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Is this for real? And he's like, oh yeah, everybody gets that on scholarship, and I'm like, hey, you're talking $60K a year before NIL stuff, and then now we're talking about profit sharing here. We're talking about, they're going to split $20 million amongst the football program next year. That's the way Penn State's going to do it. Amongst all the scholarship players in football and basketball, you're splitting that money. And that's money. Do I look back on it and say, did we make this game? We made it easier for this to happen? I mean, we didn't get shit. I was part of that, the Sega
amount of money just to play football in college.
I know that was the thing, but then again, you didn't know any better, so that's the way it was.
Right.
I always, the Ed O'Bannon lawsuit versus Sega Genesis, when they were using our name, image, and like this. So, like when you played Penn State in 1994, the left tackle was number 53. He was 6'8", 315 pounds. So who could that be? I wonder who that is, So that's what they were doing. And the guy was a brown-haired white dude, and you're like, wow, I wonder who that is, and it's number 53. So they used that stuff, and the colleges were giving it to the Sony and PlayStation and stuff like that. They were using that type of stuff, and we weren't getting a penny out of it, And they used that because they used us. The '94 Penn State team was considered an all-time team. So any year they released a new game, they still had the Penn State '94 team on there. So when they made their lawsuit, the Ed O'Bannon lawsuit, I think I got a check for like $350. So that's a little different than the $20 billion these kids are getting now.
Yeah, hey. A win's a win. A win's a win.
But you know what? And people ask me all the time about the injuries and stuff like that, and not get any money, and would you do it again? And I would say, in a fucking heartbeat, we'd all do it again. That's how much we love the game. So,
well, it's a win-win. Any win is a win, and it's always a win whenever we got someone cool like you on Goon. Absolutely loved having you on here, man. I know we got to cut this off. This next thing you know, this is one of those 3-hour shows, and so it just means we got to get you back on again. We're going to definitely see you on the Dude Network doing some Dude destinations with yours truly, and then Johnsy down the road, hopefully, too. And we're going to try out a bunch of cool eateries, so everybody stay tuned on the Dude Network to also see Goon, but also turn into the new school, old school, same school podcast and the Ironhead and Goon Show. You can also catch live if you're in the State College area at the Quaker Steak and Lube from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern.
And then you finish the show up and you have your buffet wing night right then and there.
Yeah,
bada boom.
Wing night. All you can eat wing night too. Yeah, hell yeah. Free money. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you guys. We'll be back tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, Saturday night. That is Eastern time, right here on the Dude Network. Head over to the dudenetwork.com recipe page coming soon. We'll see you next time. Let's